dear students. So we have to study international business from two ways. One is from domestic angle, and another is from international perspective. And these are the days when there is globalization, and many companies, even small companies, SMEs, MSMEs, they also export a lot to other countries. So because of that, the study in the field of international business, international trade has become very relevant by looking at the present scenario of the present scenario, or you can say the structure or dimension of the business. Okay, so now let us continue with today's things. Today we are going to discuss about the key factors which influence the international business environment, and these includes global trade policies. Global trade policies are very complicated things because they are controlled by WTO, World Trade Organizations, and certain things are also controlled by World Bank, IMF, and the national policies within the territory of the country. They also influence the trade policies to a greater extent. Next is national regulations. Just now I said that national regulations also play a very important role, and different countries have got different type of regulations. So on the basis of their convenience, on the basis of their understanding, different countries, the government of different countries, more specifically, they formulate different type of regulations. Next one is cultural and social values. They also play a pivotal role as far as defining the dimension of international business is concerned. We'll discuss about this in detail. Economic conditions, we will discuss about this in detail. Technological innovations, a detailed discussion is needed in this particular area also. Now, let us dive deep into the social and cultural environment, because here the understanding is needed that how social parameters and cultural parameters, they affect the business internationally and nationally both. Now, the society and cultural environment actually encompasses, it includes the habits of the people, the values of the people, traditions, beliefs, languages, and other societal norms that affect a company's activities in an international market. So, this particular statement says that a company is affected by various factors, and certain factors which are associated with human characteristics, human behaviors, they actually come under social and cultural environment. The best way is that in India, you can find that we are Indians. We have got our own traditions. We have got our own cultural values. We have got different type of festivals which we celebrate. Now, if you go to some other country, Middle East countries, there the culture is different. They observe different type of festivals, culture. Western countries, they have got different type of culture. They have got different type of habits. Some other countries, they've got their own indigenous culture and indigenous habits. Those people, they actually have. So companies, they need to understand the behavior of the people. They need to understand the customs and traditions of the people, because without understanding the habits of the people, the customs of the people, the traditions of the people, the mindset of the people, the thought process of the people, it will not be advisable for any company to manufacture or trade which is against such type of factors and parameters. So if a company orients itself according to these needs and requirements, then definitely the company will succeed. And that is why companies, they launch pilot projects, they undergo for survey studies to know what the people of a particular country want and what actually they don't want. In continuation, comprehending a nation's culture is essential for the success of international commerce. So, understanding or deep diving into the cultural factors is definitely essential. So, elements of social and cultural environment includes the following. The first one is cultural values and benefits. Cultural variations exist in attitudes towards business, work ethics, religious beliefs, and family pattern. Definitely, because the society in which we are brought up, the society, the cultural values in which we are raised, they impact a lot throughout our life in everything, whatever we purchase, whatever we do, whatever we think, the way in which we invest financially. So, all these things are impacted by the upbringing, the cultural values, the society in which we are groomed, right? So this is a very legitimate and justified point, and it is undeniable also. There may be some exceptions to it, but majority of us are guided by these things. Language plays a very important role because languages can play a positive role, they can play a negative role also. So language limitations can impede the communication and marketing practices. Now, suppose, for example, a company wants to trade in a African country, and knowing well that African countries are very underdeveloped, they may not understand a national language or international language more particularly, like English or something like that. So, if a company does not gives priority to their own language, then how the people of that particular country will understand regarding a particular product? How will they understand the utility of a particular product? So the company needs to explain all these things in their indigenous way, in their own language, in their regional language. Only after that the people will accept that particular organization or product of that particular company. So this may become a barrier or this may become a plus point also. Depends upon the company how it weighs, how it advances. If it advances with vernacular language, it's good. If it does not go with the vernacular language, then the company will have to decide how it has to proceed. There will be challenges. Education and literacy level. Yes, the degree of education and literacy can influence the workforce competencies and consumer conduct. Now you see, if consumers are aware, if consumers are knowledgeable, if they have got literacy, their behavior will be different than illiterate consumers. Now, a literate and educated consumer knows his rights, he knows his rules and regulations, and if a company tries to cheat that particular consumer or customer, then he can knock the door of different redressal consumer, redressal grievance centers are there, forums are there, all right, local courts are there. So that particular customer consumer can knock the door of those local doors and what you call rules and regulations which are framed for the protection of the consumer, and he will not be easily cheated. But if the consumer is illiterate and uneducated, there is a higher possibility that such type of consumers may be cheated more. But anyhow, so this plays a very important role as far as the demand of a product or a commodity in a particular area is concerned. Because the thought process changes with education. Educated people, they've got different types of thought process, and illiterate and uneducated people have got different types of thought process. So the thought process will define what type of product they want, what type of services they want, and that will change the economics and dimensions of economics as well to a greater extent. The next one is social institutions, factors such as family, education, media, influence business operations and consumer behavior to a great extent, right? And we can understand this because we are Indians. We are totally bound by family. We have got still people in India living in undivided families. We can know that how family helps to decide or how the family takes decision when a new product is purchased. Suppose a undivided family is there and they want to purchase a car. So definitely they will decide, all the members will sit, they will have a deep discussion and the head of the family will ultimately take the decision, or someone among the family member will have to take the ultimate decision what type of product they actually need, what type of product they want. I have got my personal experience. Whenever I go to Maruti showroom for servicing of my car, I witness how people come along with the family to purchase their car. Their requirements are different, and how do they think? How do they act? So definitely, this point is very, very vital. Family, education, influence of the people plays a very crucial role in deciding that what actually they need. Okay, basing upon such type of needs only, there are some companies like Maruti and other companies are there, like Reliance, which produce economical ranges products in our country because they've got higher fascination in a country like India, and that is why these companies are flourishing to a great extent. Best examples are so many. Reliance is there one, and even Maruti cars are very, very economical. Okay, anyhow, next let us discuss about okay, technological environment. Before that, let me share some slides about social and cultural environment. Just now I spoke about this thing. Very, very crucial, very, very significant area. All right, whatever I said, the same things are mentioned here also. I will share all this uh, PDF with you once the class is over, once this unit is over. I will share these things with you. Now let us discuss about technological environment. So this slide mentions that the technological environment actually includes a nation's infrastructure, research and development, innovation, technological competencies. It is essential for augmenting productivity, innovation, and competitiveness in global markets. We are living in a technological world, and all of you, all the participants, you are technological babies, in fact, so to say, because when you were born, there was technological revolution already, which commenced in our country. So I will say that you all are technological babies. When I was born, that was not a time of technology, but you all are born with a spoon, and that spoon we can call it technology. So you can call that you are born with a technological spoon, not a silver spoon, but technological spoon. Okay, anyhow, so key aspects of technological environment actually includes technological infrastructure. It includes accessibility of technologies such as internet, telecommunication, and transportation infrastructure. I will not explain this particular point further because you know about internet, you know about telecommunication, you know about transportation infrastructure. Okay, now the next one is research and development. The extent of investment in research and development influences innovation and the creation of new goods and processes. Dear participants, research plays a very important role, and whatever technological innovation you are finding, whatever technological upgradation you are witnessing, whatever new electronic devices you are using, they are nothing but the byproducts. They are just the byproduct of technology only. So because of technology only, such type of things are coming up, and we are living in a time of artificial intelligence and machine learning. So definitely, next 10 years will bring much more revolution, much more positive changes in this particular dimension. So technology is going to bring up much more changes, and these are the days when robots are performing surgery. That is known as robotic surgery. So next point discusses about that. So the next point is automation and robotics. Yes, the application of advanced technologies to enhance production and efficiency. So there are some companies these days where robots are helping in production related activity. So in place of human beings, robots are working. I just a couple of minutes earlier, I told you about robotic surgery. So even robots are helping to doctors in performing surgeries, right? So in future also you will find robots will play a very important role in helping the humankind, the businesses more particularly in performing different types of activities. Next one is e-commerce and digitization. So the emergence of digital platforms and online enterprises enhances global commerce. You people know very well how Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, Snapdeal, Shopclose, there are so many platforms and number of platforms, and they facilitate what you call the each to the customers. because whenever we want to purchase anything, we can purchase from these sites also. So it has provided a lot of comfort to the consumers, and we are enjoying that type of comfort these days. Okay, so this is technological environment. The next slide discusses about economic environment. So economic environment encompasses the elements that affects a nation's economic framework and performance, including inflation, interest rates, economic growth, exchange rates, and general economic stability. So economic environment also plays a very important role because inflation is very important. If inflation rises, it exerts a lot of pressure among the common man. You might have just experienced about petrol price hike which took place some years back. And right now we are facing some slide in the prices of petrol, but these causes lot of discomfort. And you might have heard, you might have known that some 4 or 5 months back, the prices of tomatoes were more than the prices of apples. So such type of situations are really painful. And inflation, that is nothing but inflation. Inflation means price rise of commodities, and they affect the economic prosperity and development of a particular country. Inflation should not be on a higher side; it should be rather on a lower side. Likewise, interest rates, they determine the expansion of a business of a particular country. Economic growth, it will define the living standard of person, people of that particular country. If there is economic growth, the living standard of people will increase. Likewise, exchange rate. All right, exchange rate also determines how the country will do. Now, the international currency is dollar. To get $1, we have to spend around 90 rupees. Now, suppose it comes down to 40 rupees, it will be very much beneficial for India as an importer, not India as an exporter. Anyhow, the components of economic environment includes economic system. It includes various economies, economic functions under capitalist, socialist, and hybrid frameworks. GDP and economic growth rates influence consumer demand and market dimensions. GDP, my dear participants, is gross domestic product. So it actually measures the total quantity of goods and services a country produces in a particular year. So this is a very important parameter through which economic development is gauged. Next one is inflation and interest rate. Already I've discussed about this particular point, that how inflation and interest rate affects the consumer and businesses as a whole. Likewise, income level and distribution of the income level and distribution, income distribution, so to say. So income inequalities and what you call influence consumer purchasing power and demand. So this problem India is witnessing, income inequality, because we are having rich people, and these rich people contribute what you call the major part. That means there is a huge gap between the rich people and poor people in our country. So today's class is done. We'll discuss about other things tomorrow. So if you've got any doubt, I'm giving you 2 minutes time. I'll be happy to hear any doubt if you have.